Mike, you've competed in the last 2 Vendee Globes and you're back for a 3rd time. Is there a sense of unfinished business there?
Yeah, of course. You know, for me, I came to the Vendee Globe originally with a view to winning the race. We were disappointed in the first race to have to spend the race following the fleet round, basically. And whilst I finished in 7th, after dismasting at the start, it was never going to be. So I didn't really enjoy that race in the way I'd visualised it. And so when it came to the 204 race, the last edition, I went out there expecting it to be equally horrendous. And in fact, I really enjoyed the event. But for one reason or another, we ended up in 3rd place, but very competitive and very much in the play right the way to the end of the race. So I finished the race, obviously without a keel, but having genuinely enjoyed the event and genuinely believing that, you know, I had the event in the grasp of my hand. So I'm back really to see if I can snatch my fingers shut and clinch it.
Yeah, and with all that experience, how does it feel this time compared, you know, ahead of the start compared with the last ones?
Well, unfortunately, in the intervening 4 years, a lot of new teams and a lot of new money has entered the sport. And the consequence is there's now a real mixture of very eclectic designs, very innovative designs, and in addition, you know, a range of very, very talented skippers who are competing in the race. So it's going to be tough. So.
And a lot of those, of course, are British skippers, which you must take some credit for, because you've introduced lots of British sailors to the sport.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really talented British sailors now coming into the sport, and of course, in this edition, you know, I think Brian and Alex Thompson both are candidates that could do extremely well in the race. I mean, I think it's very clear that both. I think Brian's kind of a dark horse with a slightly unknown quantity in the boat, but a very, very talented, strong sailor in his own right. And Alex, of course, he's had his troubles, but we all know that when he gets going, he's fast. So, so we've got an interesting group of sailors to challenge the French contingent here.
And we've got a number of new generation boats, including your own Ecker there. How did you change from the old Ecker to this one? What changes did you make?
Well, the boat's beamier, it has more power, there's more lead in the keel, basically. We work in a box rule, but basically we've been able to make the structures lighter, and more of that weight's gone down into the keel. We've got a taller mast, more sail area than ever before, so a very powerful boat, but no heavier than the old boat, so in real terms she's lighter. And it's just a much more powerful machine with a lot more gear changes, if you like. We've got 5 ballast, we've got a total of 10 ballast tanks on the boat, so we can really change the boat around internally and change the way the boat sails through the water. So, so it's more complicated, but it is a more powerful and a faster beast, and that's what you're going to need here in the Vendee.
Some people are saying that these latest generation boats are so powerful that they're dangerous. What's your view on that?
I don't think power and danger go together. I think, in fact, there are many arguments to say that a powerful boat is, in fact, a safer boat than a non-powerful boat. The reality is the power question comes into the manageability side of things, and manageability means the ability to be able to, when you have a very powerful sailing yacht, that translates as to the end of the winch. And in the end, you have to, if you're winding a sail in, you have to wind that bit harder if the boat's more powerful. So you get bigger winches. That's a simple problem to fix. But the reality is that a boat like Pindar, which is at the very extreme end of the power curve, will at times be more difficult to get going at full potential, whereas a more easily driven boat like our own will stay at closer to full potential for more of the time. The question is, who's right?
Yeah. And so do you feel are your biggest competitors for one of those podium places?
I think realistically the strongest competitors do come from the French contingent, and in particular I think Loic Perron, with his recent track record, is quite hard to not position him at or near the top of the fleet. But also with Michel Desgiaux here, a consistent winner, a previous Vendee winner. Vincent Riou, the same, consistent winner and a previous Vendee winner. Those two guys are going to be hard to beat. I think Sébastien Josse has shown himself to be very talented in the Volvo race, so I think he'll be strong. But the list goes on. It's a very strong and tough list.
Are you as well prepared as you wanted to be? You had a few last-minute keel problems, I think, didn't you?
I think we're as well prepared as we're able to be. We had keel problems, we had various problems on the boat throughout the year. They've prevented us from doing all the sailing that I would have really liked to have done. But the fact is we're here, we're ready, the boat's working, it's reliable, so we're in a good place now.
And have you had any chance to relax with the family in the last few days?
Yeah, I mean the boats have been here for the last 3 weeks, and I did take some time to slip away with the family for a few days, so I've spent some time, and they're coming here today. So my young son Soren has taken an early holiday from school.
So when you get out there and all of this disappears behind you, I guess that first part of the race is crucially important to get into that leading bunch, or even lead the leading bunch.
Well, I think I decided after the last race that one of the things that's very important to me in this race is to perhaps I started with the boat a little heavy, with a lot of provision for problems later on down the track that ultimately didn't materialise. And I've realised that you need to be in the play right from the get-go. We're consistently fast in the Southern Ocean, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do that again. And by the time you come out of the Southern Ocean and start heading north, that is where the race is won or lost. You just need to be in the play with the leaders at the point around Cape Horn. If you're there, and if I'm there, I guarantee we'll be in the hunt for a win, because we've got a very good boat for that last section of the course.
Well, it's time this race had a British winner, and I think everybody would agree that of all the British skippers, nobody deserves it more than you do, so we wish you lots and lots of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.